Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Think Next. A round of applause, please. There we go. Today, we are gathered here today to celebrate the limitless potential of people and technology coming together. And when I see how many people are here today, I think we're on the verge of something that's going to go down here at Think Next. And I can only conclude that with this event today, we are responding to a clear need of companies, but not only that, entrepreneurs, but also governments and public services. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a time where we live in a moment where innovation is going faster and faster. The cycles are going faster and faster. Let's have a look at OpenAI and their ChatGPT, for instance. It only took them 2 months to reach 100 million users. If we look at YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and so on, they needed more than 4 years to reach that amount. So as you can see, we are surrounded today by more and more new technology, which means we have to adapt, of course. We need to make this progress faster and faster. Think of 5G. Think of AI. And that is why we have put together a program that is very exciting. We're not only going to look to the future, but also to what is possible today. And I'm not going to do that by myself, of course. We're going to do that together with the Proximus Next experts, our partners, our customers, of course, and everybody who is willing to share their experiences today on this stage. Our next guest will also have a look at the future with us with an overview of the most important developments facing businesses in 2024. Just think of the usual suspects: AI, cybersecurity, cloud technology. Please give it up for the enterprise market lead of Proximus Next, Anne-Sophie Lotgering.
Goedemiddag allemaal et bonjour à tous. So somehow I don't have any chip connected, and now that I'm standing before you, I wish I had, because going after Hetty is quite a difficult task. But I'm really glad to see all of you here present for our first edition of Think Next. As you saw in the introduction, we have in our brand campaign some birds flying, and those birds are starlings. And starlings are birds that migrate, and when they migrate, they fly in a formation, and they're all creating beautiful shapes together. And I really believe it's a very good metaphor for not only who we believe we need to be at Proximus Next, but how we're all here gathered today, yourselves, our customers, our partners, and our affiliates, to really understand what are the technology trends that we have affecting us in 2023 and moving forward in 2024, and how together we will be able to transform those technology trends into business outcomes, whether greater operational efficiency or new business models. Now, I've had a quick thought about, what's going to happen to us in 2024, because believe it or not, the end of the year is approaching fast. In 32 days, it will be the 1st of January 2024. So where do we think and how will we be impacted by the technology trends that we will see? Now, I've shortened it down and I've kept it to a sweet but short and hopefully relevant 5 key trends. Those are cyber resilience. That's the first trend. Then we have everything around generative AI, which Hette talked about. Then we have phygital convergence. Now, phygital is a very difficult word to pronounce. I dare you to do the same, and I will explain what it's all about. Then we have quantum communication, and last but not least, and I don't think much of a surprise, everything that's dealing with data privacy. So let me go through one by one very quickly. First of all, cyber resilience. I think it's fair to say that the number of cyber attacks is ever increasing, and they're becoming even more sophisticated. It's estimated then that 1 out of 2 businesses will fall victim to a cyber attack in 2024, and it will cost the economy more than 10 trillion euros. traditional cybersecurity measures are not actually enough to withstand those new forms of attack. And companies today need to think about a resilient cyber resilience plan. And that encompasses a number of things. Automation through AI and machine learning, integrated end-to-end security measures, and also an acute awareness of the societal impacts that are affecting us. Second trend is everything that's linked to generative AI. I think it's fair to say that in 2023, generative AI became mainstream. And 2024 will be, I think, the year where we actually understand and harness what that technology can bring to all of us. And during the panel of speakers next to me, you will have here real-life examples of how they are doing that. 2024 will be the year when we actually create these super smart digital assistants that we never knew we really needed, either streamlining our existing processes or revolutionizing the way that we work. Next up, phygital convergence. What is phygital convergence all about? Phygital convergence is the merger of the physical and the virtual world. That's all it is. And if you look at the trends of immersive video, AR, but also immersive internet, you will see that those trends are really increasing. And a very good example of that is digital twinning. Digital twinning, as you know, is the virtual representation of an object, a system, or a process in a virtual world. And I believe that through digital twinning, which is becoming mainstream in 2024, it creates new frontiers of innovation. And actually, if you want to do like me and play a little bit in the digital twinning world, in our innovation gardens, Codit, one of our affiliates, has an actually stand where you can see small toy trucks. Now, don't play with them like I did, because I broke one yesterday. Its head got detached from the rest of its body. But you can actually, they've repaired it since then, but you can actually see how digital twinning can actually really create new business models and new business value. Next up is everything that's related to quantum computing. I really believe that quantum computing will pave the way that our networks will become super secure and super resilient. Quantum key distribution on our fiber networks makes that data is absolutely secure. It can't be intercepted by any eavesdroppers. And you will see that in the industries, whether pharmaceutical, banking, or others, they're starting already to think about how the adoption of quantum computing will help them. We at Proximus have also decided to create a Belgian community called the Quantum Circle, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later on during the day. Now, last but not least, I would say the last technology trend is around data integrity. Companies really need a framework to enable all those technologies and the data that's involved in those new technologies to use them. And we need governance. Those companies need governance. They actually need trust. And they also need to make sure that their data stays protection. And the fact that data privacy remains one of the key concerns will be the case in 2024, which is also why we see the emergence of sovereign clouds. Those were the 5 trends that I wanted to quickly highlight, where we see Proximus investing in skills, investing in capabilities, because we believe that IT and telco specialists such as ourselves have a responsibility and a duty to understand those technologies, embrace them, and make sure that we're able to provide you with the guidance that you might need with our partners and our affiliates. And you may ask why? Well, very simply, because magic happens when we work together. So I hope you will have a great, great event this afternoon. I look forward to speaking to you a little bit later on during the day. Until then, enjoy, and thank you very much.
We'll be seeing a lot more of Anne-Sophie later on, of course. Now, what's next? That might be the question, of course. Well, I'll tell you what's next, because in this day and age, there's no business that can live without a flexible ICT infrastructure, be it on premises or, if you will, in the cloud. It is in that infrastructure that plays a crucial role in today's dynamic business landscape. And to discuss this further, I've invited a few guests, of course. Please welcome. We're going to delve a little bit deeper in the ICT challenge with the CTO at BNP Paribas Fortis, Laurent van Lancker. We have CIO at Bekaert, Gunter van Craen. We have the Vice President Segment of One, Fabrice de Windt. And finally, Vice President of Industries at Proximus, Christophe Crous. Round of applause.
Good afternoon. Welcome, Gunter, Laurent, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to answer some questions during Think Next. So, Gunter, I propose to start with you. I think it's fair to say that today digital transformation is really key in every modern company. So how is Bekaert addressing digital transformation, and how do you make sure that this digital transformation remains aligned with the business objectives?
Yeah, great question. Thanks a lot for that. And actually, if you know Bekaert, we're a heavy industry type of company, and if you would have asked me the question 7 years ago, I would probably say, well, maybe not so much. But today, it's massively important for our business strategy. And why is that? Because all of the industries that we serve, all of our customer bases, are incredibly at speed adopting digital solutions. There was a conservatism at once, but that is just basically just going 180% the other way. Which means that for our business strategy, it's crucially important to think about how we serve those digital solutions. We do that with 3 focus areas. We obviously, how we produce and how we get our goods logistically to our customers. For an operational company, operational excellence is key. There's no surprise about that. I think more importantly, the second area where we focus on is our customer. We are mostly in B2B areas, and you wouldn't think that we would kind of like think about a B2C type of context. But we are crucially thinking about how we engage with our customers, and more importantly, how we influence key industrial opinion makers about the sustainable features of our solutions and how we get that message into the world, which is crucially important for us. You could call it a little bit lobbying, although it's not with governments, but it's with key opinion leaders from an industry perspective. And then thirdly, our third focus area is around how do we make our digital solutions more smart. So how do we combine technologies like IoT, Edge, AI into our solutions so that we can build additional services around the physical products which we give and provide software products around that. And with that, my team and part of the executive committee with my colleagues on the executive committee, we don't really see this as a digital strategy, it's the business strategy. And we believe that by being successful in this, by deploying technology, we will drive Bekaert to success into the customer market as well.
Laurent, welcome. So, Laurent, could you tell us a bit about the ICT challenges you face within BNP Paribas Fortis, but more specifically around connectivity, cloud, and cybersecurity?
Yeah, those are 3 very important elements, part of our growth, technology, and sustainability strategy at BNP Paribas Fortis. So, and those 3 are belonging to the technology pillar, and those 3 are very important. So they are part of the bank strategy 2022-2025 plan, and I will elaborate on the 3. So, and I will start with the cyber security one because, like it was said in the introduction as well, this is keeping us quite awake before the weekend and at night. So very important. And you know, in the banking sector is based on trust, the trust that we have from our clients, from our partners, from our somewhere from our regulator as well. So, and we see that the evolution of the kind of cyber threats and cyber attack that we have to deal with are quite important, and hence it remains a very important element of the strategy of BNP Paribas Fortis. The second element on connectivity, sometimes we translate that into availability. So we have 14 critical services within the bank, like payments being one of the examples. And what we are measuring is actually to be always on, to be 24 on 24, 7 on 7, outside of business hours. And even the planned downtime are also quite a challenge. I will take an example of instant payments, for example. There we have the obligation to process the payments in 5 seconds. So you can imagine how can you have planned downtime in this limited period. And also, we also see that the volumes are increasing, the digitalization that we are referring to. We have peaked during the Black Friday, during the end-of-year seasons that are quite challenging for telecom, for our cloud, and for our infrastructure. And then on the cloud, there we have decided to mutualize the investment within BNP Paribas Group. So there we have two major partners with Microsoft on Azure and with IBM. And there I will also re-insist on the importance that Anne-Sophie mentioned in terms of data protection and data privacy. This is very important for BNP Paribas. So we have taken some important measure in terms of cloud to be sure that we can protect the data of our clients. And of course, we want to improve the wide range of services that we have on the cloud, to bring new innovation, to also to ease the way that we integrate with partners. And this is why we have those three pillars part of the strategy.
Okay, thank you.
So Gunter, back to you, I would say. Anne-Sophie already mentioned quite a few new emerging technologies. She talked about cyber resilience instead of cyber security, and she talked about quantum computing, also on artificial intelligence. How is a company like Bekaert looking at these new technologies? For instance, artificial intelligence. Are you already experimenting? Are there use cases that you can maybe share a little bit about?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think being a CDO, CDIO, this is the biggest challenge right now because there's so many things that are changing and you only have limited resources. So you need to figure out what are you going to bet on, what are you not going to bet on. I mean, now we're talking all about Gen AI, but I think a year ago it was all about the metaverse. And you need to start to think about, where is it going to impact your business and where is the applicability around that. So we are very, I would say, picky what we want to do. But AI was something that we already deployed around 4 to 5 years ago because we truly thought that it would change the way that we produce our solutions. And we started mostly within the context of operational efficiency. So when you come to a Bekaert plant, one, you will be surprised because it's very loud, it's very warm, this heavy industry. That's one thing. But the second thing is you will see a lot of sensors where we usually deploy vision AI and sound AI to figure out what's going on within the plant, to detect every abnormality and to actually do the quality of the product on the line by using AI together with human intelligence. Because it's important, our operators know exactly what the machines are doing, but they are helped with our AI components. So that's where we started to dabble into that, and we're now moving that into the smart solutions. So if you have the aspiration, when you think about a cable that is securing a bridge or that is going to basically moor a floating windmill, and you want to build intelligence around that so that you can monitor the quality of that mooring solution, then you need to start to think about the combination of 5G, IoT, Edge, and AI. And everyone is probably thinking about that. But then when you add the consequence that you do that either in a mine, a kilometer down the ground, or you do that somewhere before the coast of Scotland at seabed, things are getting a little bit more complicated. And that's where we're actually putting our efforts right now, is to move from mainstream solutions, which are being commoditized as we speak, and we deploy commoditized solutions, into more the harsher environments where our products operate, and how can we bring those commoditized solutions into specialized solutions in harsh environments.
Laurent, financial services is a very regulated industry, and we have some new regulations coming our way, DORA, NIS2. How are you assessing the impact of those, and how are you preparing yourselves for those new regulations?
So we are very regulated, like you said, and we are also what we call a systemic bank. So that means that we are vital for the economy. So that brings even stringent requirements to us. But the journey already started in 2015. So there was already by the National Bank of Belgium circular on operational resilience. So we are working on that since that time. But of course, now with DORA coming to play, we see that the kind of scenario that we need to be prepared with are quite... actually, the point is to be prepared for an extreme shock. There is no network anymore. There is a physical attack, there is also a cyber attack, so the combination of all those kind of attacks together and how to ensure that we get prepared for this kind of extreme shock. And of course, we'll have to do that within the bank. We will have also to work with our partner because we also have to rely on our essential services partner. And also to see what kind of crisis management we are able to apply in that circumstance. So we have been invested quite a while. We have this DORA regulation coming to play beginning of 2025, so it's quite, it's 1 year time. So we will continue to invest heavily on that front, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Laurent. Gunter, Laurent, I would like to thank you very much for joining us on stage today. So very much appreciated.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Proximus next. Think possible.